promised I'd do more of an instructional video about throwing, and most of you probably know, or certainly a lot of my friends know, that I'm an axe thrower, and I have been an axe thrower for a number of years. So I'm going to demonstrate with an axe a little bit about grip. So with my axes, I just use a basic hammer grip, hold it nice and low on the handle, and the movement is very, very simple. I literally stand with the opposite foot forwards, keeping my shoulders nice and level. I bring my axe behind my head, and I go straight forward, pointing the point of the axe, or the tip of the axe, at where I want it to hit, and I let the axe slide at my hand and do rotations into the board. So it's a very straightforward movement, it's nice and simple, and it works every time. So the same goes with a knife for a full spin throw. So when I let the axe go, I let the axe do its own thing, I let it spin through the air and hit the target. The same goes for the knives. So if I take one of my pro flight knives, exactly the same thing, full spin, hold it at the base, hold it with a hammer grip, exactly the same as I would do with an axe, exactly the same stance and exactly the same movement, letting the knife slide at my hand, let the knife do the rotations itself and hit the target. So for full rotation spinning, there is absolutely no difference to me between the way I throw an axe and the way I throw a knife, exactly the same. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to try something a little bit different and move on to no spin, just because it was a different technique and a different feel, and made it more challenging for myself. So yeah, so just remember, hammer grip for full spin throws. Military half spin is a pinch grip between the thumb and the fingers. Again, this can move position depending on the distance you want to throw, alright, but short distances at the bottom of the blade, moving up further up the blade for longer distances and military half spin. And then finally, the one that I've been working on and the brand new technique to me was the instinctive no spin, which is slightly different. So for this, I place the handle or the butt of the blade in at the base of my thumb here. I keep my index finger on top of the knife and I wrap my fingers around the bottom of the blade. So the way this works is slightly different. So the stance is pretty much the same. So I stand my shoulder square at the start of the throw. The difference now is on the release and the movement of my throw. So I bring the knife right back behind me, I bring the knife to around this point, and then that's where I let go. As I let go, I let my finger continue the slide down the knife, so that stops it from over rotating, so the knife can fly straight. If you don't stroke down the back of the knife will just rotate like a normal full rotation. So by being able to control the rotation, you get a straight flight, and hopefully hit the target nice and straight. So the difficulty with this is finding that release point. So the knife is straight up in the air. Finding that release point can be difficult, and also I found that it's a more fluid movement. There's lots of different styles of throwing. This is just what works for me. I've watched a lot of videos, like most of you will have done on YouTube. I've watched a lot of Adam Cheladin, world title holder, fantastic knife thrower, brilliant guy to watch, and I like his style because it's very, very relaxed, but he also follows through, and I seem to feel that that follow through movement is right for me. So the only difference when I'm throwing this instinctively or no spin is I take a little step and I also push my shoulder and everything rotates, so it's from my feet to my hips to my shoulders. So it's very much like, after 27 years of teaching Thai boxing, it's almost like throwing a right straight punch. Alright, so as I throw a right punch, I rotate from my ankles to my knees to my hips to my shoulders and then through to my hand. Same movement goes with the knife, exactly the same movement, it's just finding when to let go, and then as soon as I've let go, the finger strokes down the back of the knife and all the way through. So the movement's nice and simple. Don't expect anybody to get these movements or these grips or any of this overnight. Everything takes time and it all takes practice, but hopefully it'll give some of you a better idea of how to hold the knife, how to stand, and the kind of technique involved in throwing. So guys, military half spin, taking the knife at the blade end and more of a pinch style, thumb pointing up the knife. You can only get away with this on blunt edge knives, just with the throwing point, otherwise you could cut yourself. If you have got a bladed knife or a double bladed knife, you could always take one of the edges off with a file or grind it down, but definitely be careful with this style. So I found that military half spin works well with this grip, about 2.5 to 3 meters, and then sliding up the knife, if I want a little bit more distance, 4 meters plus, to about the balance point. Balance point is about there, and that'll give me a longer range. But yeah, this grip, military half spin grip, it's quite an easy one to learn, easy one to start off with.